Alright people, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of F1 2021 My Team here on the channel. Today is the third to last race of the second season of the My Team series. We are drawing to a close almost in this series already. It feels like we only started it last week and we're already nearly at the end of it. Today is the Brazilian Grand Prix. If you do remember, last year we did finish P2 in the Brazilian Grand Prix. That marked back-to-back podiums for us. We finished P2 in Mexico as well. Speaking of Mexico, that was the last race on the channel. If you did miss that, go ahead and check that video out. It is already up on the channel, of course, because it was the previous race. The battle for third in the constructor standings is heating up. We are currently P3 on 241 points. P4 is tied between Ferrari and McLaren, just 8 points behind us. So it is coming down to the wire, coming down to the very last race for this battle for P3, 4 and 5. Make sure you stay tuned on the series to see how that one turns out. Today, of course, we do have the Brazilian Grand Prix, so hopefully we can have a good result like we did in Season 1, because we really need some points, bro. We really need some big points coming into this final stint of races, you know, towards the end of the season, of course, with just Australia and Abu Dhabi left after this one before we get into Season 3, which I cannot wait to get into. But anyway, let's head through into qualifying now. We are currently P14. I wish we were P4. We're currently P14 on this lap here, as we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in Q1. And obviously you're on board with our fastest lap of the session, staying in 7th gear, dropping it to 6th as we throw the car around and keep it within track limits here. Down into 3rd gear, hooking the curb for some extra rotation. Down again into 2nd for some more rotation, and then getting the steering wheel open as we accelerate uphill there. Make sure you open your steering wheel through that corner, otherwise you will spin out. And this section here is where we really lost all the time. I think section 2 in this lap, you know, sector 1 is pretty much just the downhill turn 1 and a straight, and then sector 2 or sector 3 is pretty much as a straight as well. So sector 2 is where the time is really made up. But we are going to go 1/10 faster on this lap. That's going to put us with a 1:06.7. Like I say, sector 2 we go red in, so definitely a lot more time we could have made up. We improved on our time by a 10th, but it didn't improve us in the standings. Nico Rosberg up in P6 in Q1 there, and we are out again in P18. We just can't get a qualifying lap together, boys. I can't remember the last time we got through into Q2 or Q3. I forgot to show this beforehand, but this is the vehicle comparison chart as of right now. We are currently just behind McLaren and almost tied with Ferrari. So like I say, them two really advancing. We have not done any upgrades to the car for so long because our facilities are not high enough level. It's going to come down to the wire. Let's see how the race goes.
Formula 1 returns to Sao Paulo once again, with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if of course the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
From the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Gasly, Ocon, Vettel, Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty, and Lance Stroll, Norris, Russell, Mick Schumacher, and Rosberg. The owner driver, Leclerc, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Yuki Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Mazepin, Tigtum, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So boys, Nico Rosberg in P14. I wonder if he took a grid penalty or if he just didn't qualify for Q3. We are going to go with a 2-stop strategy. We are just 1 place behind Nico Rosberg on the grid. We're going to go with the start on the mediums, then go into the soft on the 2-stop strategy there, as you can see. And now let's get into the race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position here in Brazil as we wait for the lights. And it is lights out and away we go. We get off to a slow start compared to almost everyone else around us. Leclerc flying past us. We are on those slow medium tyres. We try and cover off the inside. But Yuki Tsunoda absolutely flying down the inside. And we got to warn him for a collision with Tsunoda. Tsunoda actually got to warn him for a collision with us as well. And he's off into the distance. Yuki Tsunoda has made up about 10 places off the start there. Absolutely outrageous start from Yuki Tsunoda. He's up into P11. What a start from Yuki Tsunoda there. Absolutely outrageous aggression shown from the young Japanese driver there. Fantastic start. We obviously lose a place to Charles Leclerc, who is on the soft tyres. I think we are the only man in the back half of the grid. As we almost make contact with Leclerc there, we have to take evasive action to the inside. We're the only man, like I say, on the medium tyres. So, of course, we got a slower start than the soft runners. But hopefully, the strategy works out in the long run as we go up the inside here, stick our car up the inside. I think this is the same corner that Lewis Hamilton did that same move to Alex Albon, but spun him out. So we didn't want to see a replay of that there, but we have overtaken Leclerc. Now we do have Mick Schumacher just in front of us. Nico Rosberg making up 1 place off the start as well in P14. Now we are chasing down Mick Schumacher. We should have a lot more straight line speed than this Williams car. We are using a lot of battery charge though, a lot of ERS as Schumacher comes across to cover us there, and a nice defensive line from Schumacher into turn 1, completely cutting off any idea of a move that we could have made there through turn 1. But yeah, this Williams seems so fast compared to what it should be. You know, I should be absolutely blitzing past this Williams because we are so far ahead on the development tree than this Williams car. But yeah, just couldn't get past the Williams. And I believe the other Williams, which houses George Russell still, I think, yeah, is just in front of Nico Rosberg. And there's a bit of contact there between us and Charles Leclerc. Leclerc wants to get back at us, sticking his car up the inside like we did to him on the opening lap. And Charles Leclerc is going to have to settle in behind us because we are not letting this guy go anywhere. We defend the inside for this corner here, so we can't overtake us where we overtook him on lap 1. And we are going to remain in P16. And we're just going to play the long game, boys. Everyone else is on soft tyres, on different strategies to us. We're going to play the long game, trying to keep hold of these medium tyres. I want to take these tyres as long as possible on this medium stint, you know. So DRS is now enabled. We are within range to Mick Schumacher as we come through turn 1, and hopefully we can try and make a move down the straight. Now once we do get DRS open down the straight, we're using a lot of battery charge again. We've used 40% of the battery and it's only lap 3, and we can't actually close before the end of the straight, and we almost make contact with Mick Schumacher there, trying to close and make that pass. I just don't know why I couldn't get past this Williams car. We're going to have to rely on the pit straight with DRS open to try and make a pass, I think, on majority of the cars on the grid here, as Charles Leclerc yet again getting impatient behind us, trying to look around the outside. That's a move that was never on. He's looking around the outside. Now, we are in this big train, as you can see on the map in the bottom left. The top 4 are running away, but it looks like Pierre Gasly or Yuki. No, that's going to be Pierre Gasly in P5, I guess, in the race. I'm trying to do the maths. And he's holding up a massive train of cars behind him, as you can see. And we sadly fall out of DRS range to Mick Schumacher down the back straight here, a little bit slow through sector 2 and 3. So now Charles Leclerc is going to have DRS on us, and we don't have DRS on Schumacher. So Leclerc is going to make a pass on us into turn 1, finally clear us and get past us. But there is another DRS detection zone coming up as we get our first warning for track limits there. We do have DRS now into the slipstream, and for some reason we close on the Ferrari a lot faster than we closed on the Williams of George Russell or Mick Schumacher, sorry. But Leclerc is not having none of it. We take the position back, but now Leclerc wants to go again with too wide into this corner here. Very tricky corner to go too wide into, and as we head through now, he's going around the outside. Leclerc, can he get a switch back or something? He's trying to make a move stick, and we're really losing a lot of time to the car in front. As you can see now, Schumacher is 1.6 seconds ahead. We're losing a lot of time battling here with Leclerc. I think we lock up into this corner, and now Leclerc's on the outside of us. trying to go around the outside. Just look at the grip he has on the outside there, but we push him onto the AstroTurf and tactically hit the brakes there because I know the DRS detection zone is coming up. So I'm a little sly fox when it comes to moves like that. We hit the brakes there. Giovinazzi right on our gearbox as well, though, but we will have DRS down the home straight to try and force a move on Leclerc. Let's see if we can make it stick, and of course we can. Look how easy it is to overtake into turn 1 with that DRS open. Very good move from us to go ahead and hit the brakes there. So we of course got the DRS. Now Schumacher's nearly 2 seconds ahead, or he is 2 seconds ahead. That is not what we like to see. We're trying to close that gap to the top 15 cars here, and it's just not working. We've lost so much time battling Leclerc. Maybe we should have just let him past if it was a Red Bull. Oh, and Leclerc goes off the screen. Leclerc goes flying across the camera there. It's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Charles Leclerc is off the track. We'll have to see if there's any damage to his car or if he's just had a little moment there. This is on board with Leclerc. He looks for an opening up the inside that just wasn't on, and he's overcorrected the car. He manages to keep it out of the wall, but Charles Leclerc a little too optimistic, thinking that there was a chance for a move there when it really wasn't. I was just driving, you know. I don't think that was dirty on my behalf. Leclerc drives into the side of us there, and lucky, very lucky to keep it out of the wall. Doesn't even need a front wing change unless he did from the contact with us. But yeah, absolutely massive. Like I was just about to say, if it was Hamilton or if it was one of the Mercedes or the Red Bulls, I probably would have just let them pass and then focus on closing down the gap to Schumacher.
For a new strategy option.
But with the battle for Ferrari for third place in the Constructors, we had to battle Leclerc there, and it has worked out in our favour, of course. But Jeff gets on the radio on lap 8 and says he wants to swap to a one-stop strategy, which means we have to drag these medium tyres, which we were going to take off on lap 14, I think. He wants me to take them to lap 21. Now, that would mean doing 15 laps on soft tyres around Brazil. And I think in the actual stint, it said to do 10 laps on each set of soft tyres. So 15, it will be quite a bit of a drag. So I get it in my head now. We need to save tyres. And we do need to go ahead and push these medium tyres to like about lap 24. I had in my head as the aim, but after just a bit of good driving from us and a bit of overtaking in front and a bit of defensive driving in front, we have caught up to Mick Schumacher. Finally, we've closed a 2-second gap, even though we're going red in our lap sectors. Obviously, it looks like Nico Rosberg has cleared now George Russell, so that would have held up Russell, which has held up Schumacher, which has allowed us to catch up. We get DRS again. Just cannot close the gap to Schumacher. The Mercedes engine must have got a massive upgrade or something, because Mercedes have been so good towards the end of this season. Of course, you've got Williams with the Mercedes engine as well. They flew up the vehicle comparison chart, and they're even above Aston Martin at the minute, I think. It's absolutely crazy. But as you can see, we have Lance Stroll in front of Rosberg and Yuki Tsunoda in front of Stroll. We have a little like 6-car train right now, which I'm of course looking to get past because I don't want to lose any time. I'm really losing a lot of time just being behind Schumacher right now. He's going so slow through the corners. Let's see, as we come out through the final turn, we're going to have DRS down the straight again. Let's see how many people we can pass, if we can pass any, because like I say, this Williams car seems so fast in a straight line. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we are going to tuck into the slipstream and close the gap to 0.3 through turn 1, and we get some good rotation on the curbs there, heading down the hill into the second DRS zone on the lap, and we are going to get it on Schumacher now. Can we make a move? Schumacher, he's going to cover the inside and give us the outside line, which I will take all day, every day. We go around the outside of Mick Schumacher, almost made contact, trying to come back onto the track there. The curb got us a bit unsettled. Schumacher going defensive though, and it has worked out for him, and he keeps the position, but we know that it's only a matter of time before we get past this guy. If not on this lap, it'll be on the back straight once we have DRS again. But Rosberg in front, struggling to get past Lance Stroll. Same way we're struggling to get past Schumacher, but you know, Nico Rosberg, he's 99 rated, bro. You'd expect him to get past Lance Stroll with ease and then move on to the cars in front. We do have Yuki Tsunoda in front on this little train as well. And you can see on the minimap on the bottom left, it's a massive train here, and everyone else is flying ahead. Speaking of the minimap, there is a yellow flag in Sector 2. It looks like a red Ferrari car, and it is going to be Charles Leclerc. Another yellow flag brought out for Charles Leclerc, as he comes around the corner. Let's see if he has another spin. No, he doesn't, but his engine is gone. It's going to be Charles Leclerc with the retirement here in Brazil. Unfortunate race for Leclerc, having that spin at the start. Mick Schumacher dives into the pits though as we come back on board with us. So that frees up one space. Of course, it is lap 12 now, so the soft tyres are going to start falling off a little bit. Hopefully our medium tyres will start to be the better race tyres to be on right now. We do get DRS again. We're still within DRS range of George Russell in front, and being on the medium tyres, I'm expecting people now to start peeling off into the pits, and then we can get some free air in like the top 4 or 5 cars and hopefully go ahead and get some good laps in, as George Russell does dive into the pits there, as you can see. Not before giving us DRS though. Into turn 1, and we are now caught up to Nico Rosberg, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda. If Nico can't get past Stroll and Tsunoda, maybe we should do some team orders and try and let me get past them. I wish you could do team orders on this game, you know, it would be nice to tell your teammate to move out the way. Speaking of, Nico Rosberg dives into the pits on lap 13 of 36. Hamilton and Sainz just coming out of the pits as well. Sainz ahead of Hamilton in this race. They've moved on to the hard tyres, so it looks like they're going for a one-stop strategy as well. Starting on the softs, going on to hards. We have, of course, changed now to the one-stop, but we are doing medium soft, so let's see how much of an advantage that gives us. As we come to the end of lap 15, Tsunoda dives into the pits. Lance Stroll stays out. And we are going to make a move into turn 1 on Lance Stroll. He has the inside line. We're going to go around the outside, try and make it stick. Who's going to have the better traction as we bounce over the curb there? We're going to be in front of Lance Stroll, but we are going to head now down DRS straight here. But it was not enough for Lance Stroll to overtake us again. We went defensive there. Now Lance has came into the pits, I think, on this lap here. So Mick Schumacher is out of the session, another retirement, and it's going to be a Mercedes power unit this time. Mick Schumacher, another guy we were really battling with this race. So 2 guys we've been battling with all race, both have to retire from the race. Schumacher goes off the track there, as you can see. Lap 21 of 36 now. We are up in P5, just trying to make these tyres go as long as possible. Jeff wanted us to box this lap. I wanted to go to lap about 24. What I'm looking at, boys, is the split times between me and Carlos Sainz. Well, Carlos Sainz is now dropped off the board in the top left. Hamilton and Norris I'm looking at, but as well as Sainz, we'll see now Carlos Sainz battling Lewis Hamilton there, but he suddenly just dropped off the board. Let's see, as they come around this corner, Hamilton goes in front. Sainz on the slower outside line. His former teammate Lando Norris pushing him off the track there, and it's a good battle between Sainz and Norris. It'll be interesting to see how that one ends at the end of the race. They're really going for it, but Hamilton now has cleared Carlos Sainz, and you would assume Hamilton be faster than Sainz, so he's trying to close us down. Like I say, what I was looking at is that split time between Hamilton, Norris, Sainz and us, and now Hamilton is within DRS range, so I decided to dive into the pits here on lap 23. That's what I was really waiting for. Once he got within 1 second, I was like, right, now it's time to box. Probably could have came in earlier. I think it might have been a bad strategy for me to come in this late. We probably should have came in a lap or 2 earlier. But we'll have to wait and see how these soft tyres do us for the final stint of the race. 2.8 seconds on the pit stop. Not the best, not the worst though. I've definitely seen worse. Speaking of worst pit stops, make sure you check out the next video on the series, which is in Australia. One of the worst pit stops I have ever seen. I have pre-recorded that race there, but make sure you check that one out, coming out later on in the week. So we come out of the pits now in 13th place on fresh soft tyres. We have George Russell and Esteban Ocon in front of us. We're going to be so much faster than these guys on completely brand new fresh soft tyres. We didn't even use these in quali because we didn't get through to a high place in quali. George Russell comes into the pits for his second stop of the race, and Esteban Ocon is now the guy in front of us on the hard tyres, obviously on the one-stop strategy, and we are up into P12. So we're going to have DRS again. Esteban Ocon, move out the way, you motherfucker. I hate this guy. Every time I drive past this guy, he wants to crash into me. So we get past Ocon without any contact, luckily. Next up is Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg. 2.9 seconds ahead those guys are in P9 and P10. Can we get up into the points of this race? From P15 on the grid, I can see them in my sights now. We are chasing down Sebastian and Nico, the 2 Germans, actually back to back here in P9 and P10. We're going green in our sectors, of course. These soft tyres on this stint. I don't know if you remember at the start of the race, it was very overcast, very cloudy. The sun has came out now, the track temperature would have increased. So to be on the soft tyres now, when the track temperature's increased, and when, of course, we've burnt off a lot of the fuel in the car, to be on soft tyres now, we are just absolutely rapid for the final stint of this race. And that is proven as we cross the line here. We're going to get the fastest lap of the race so far, 1 minute 7.3. Hopefully that can stick as the fastest lap of the race. I didn't even expect it to be that fast because we didn't go purple in any sector. It was just greens all around, but obviously it was enough overall to be the fastest lap of the race. But I am expecting someone to beat it still. But then again, saying that, we go purple through sector 1 here, and I'm just thinking everyone else is on hard tyres. You know, Perez, Verstappen, Bottas, as well as Lewis Hamilton are all on hard tyres, so maybe nobody will beat it. As we look up the inside here, very aggressive, very good driving from Sebastian, very aware from Sebastian to pull out of that move there. If that was somebody else less experienced, there would have been contact there. I'm pretty sure they would have just turned into us, but Sebastian there, very good, you know, very aggressive from us to send one up the inside of Seb like that. And we do go red in the middle sector because of trying to make that overtake on Sebastian there. But as we come to the end of lap 27, we're going to be within DRS range of our teammate Nico Rosberg, who is on hard tyres, I want to say. I don't know if he's running a 4-stop strategy like he did last time out in Mexico, but we're going to go around the outside of Nico Rosberg into turn 1 and 2, and we are going to make it stick as we cut the corner again. I think that was track limits again, but yeah, we don't care, bro. But Nico is going to have DRS now, and as you can see, a lovely little graphic here. I've decided to put the onboard and the TV camera together as we come around the corner. Now we are going to be ahead in P9. If you do like this graphic, by the way, let me know, because I will try and do it more often, because I think it was really cool of an idea, because they do that on obviously the TV sometimes when they have the onboard on the left hand side while you're watching the TV screen on the right hand side. But yeah, so we make a pass on our teammate. And just to show you the pace, we are now 6 seconds ahead of our teammate, and we've closed the gap to Pierre Gasly in P8 to less than a second. And there is also a car in front of Gasly, which is not in the race. There's going to be P20, Nikita Mazepin, blue flags. He moves out the way. Unlike Mazepin in real life, I'm sure Mazepin in real life would have done some madness there to cost us both the race, me and Pierre. But 4 laps left in the race, chasing down Pierre Gasly on hard tyres, old hard tyres of course, and we're on these kind of fresh soft, and look at that for a transition. You know, I just love making these videos, bro. That transition was so clean, but that was obviously a lap later. This is lap 33. We're going around the outside of Pierre Gasly, almost a bit of a wheel bump there from Gasly, looking unsettled on that inside line. It's a bit bumpy down on the inside there, down the home straight, but we make the move stick, and we are going to go ahead and be ahead of Pierre Gasly up into P8. We are now Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris 11 seconds ahead, but we are not going to be able to close that gap. We brought that gap down to 9 seconds at one point. Then our soft tyres fell off towards the end of the stint, which is why I wanted to push the medium so long. The soft tyres really fell off at the end, and as you can see, the gap finalises at 14 seconds to the cars ahead. But we cross the line in P8 from P15 on the grid. Very solid drive from us, if you do ask me. I do really like racing around Brazil. We get driver of the day as well. Absolutely fantastic news for us. And yeah, so
it's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion.
How about that, boys? Max Verstappen wins the World Championship. I was going to say wins the race, but I'm not even sure if he has. Red Bull have won the race. I'm not sure if that was Perez from pole position or if it was Verstappen. We'll have to wait and see. But Max Verstappen has won the Drivers' World Championship 2021. It is Sergio Perez on the podium here with the race win in Brazil. It's going to be Valtteri Bottas in P2 and Max Verstappen in P3. Verstappen P3 in Brazil, and he wins the Drivers' Championship. Hopefully I will be saying those words in real life, saying that Max Verstappen wins the Drivers' Championship. I'm a big Red Bull and Max Verstappen fan. Hopefully we can repeat this in real life, Max. Yeah, anyway, Perez there picking up a W here in Brazil. Redemption from the howler that he had in his home Grand Prix last time out. I say howler, he did come P4, but he probably would have won that race if he didn't dump his car into the wall and have to change his front wing, you know. But anyway, we finished P8. Nico Rosberg finishes P10. We also get the fastest lap of the race. That stayed with us. Very nice indeed. We get 5 points from that. Nico adding one more to that in P10. I expected Nico to do better, I can't lie to you, bro. You know, he's 99 rated, and he's won one race for the team, and I expect him to be better, I can't lie.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. There was also a strong...
So, like we say, Max Verstappen has won the Drivers' Championship, but as you've just heard there from Jeff, Red Bull have won the Constructors' Championship as well. So, we are currently P5 in the Drivers' standings, 6 points behind, Daniel Ricciardo, I should say, is 6 points behind us. It's really coming down to the wire the last few races of the season, and now McLaren have passed us in the Constructors' standings, boys. Look at that, they have passed us in the Constructors. Ferrari 8 points behind us, and McLaren 6 points ahead of us. It's coming down to the wire. We have 2 races remaining, and the battle for third has never been tighter. The battle for third place, just like in real life, between McLaren and Ferrari, is really heating up on our season here as well. It's really heating up between us, Ferrari and McLaren, in that battle for third place. It's going to come down to the wire. Next up, Austrian Grand Prix. Austrian? No, it's not. It's the Australian. Yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that episode. Nico's focus is up to 75. Hopefully, he can have a better performance in Australia. Next time out, we do have, obviously, the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit, Australian Grand Prix. It's coming down to the wire for that battle for third place and the battle for fifth in the drivers' standings. Make sure you stay tuned on the channel, hit subscribe. If you haven't already, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. What else do I need to say? Hit like on the video if you enjoyed. The video is slack for likes. Try and get me to 10 likes every video and I'll be happy. I will catch us in the next one now. Take it easy.